must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Political Command Center and across in Kenya, Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, is Miriam Ogutu in the general headquarters of Punchline Africa Television, the only station in Africa that bothers to know what is going on in Africa, that bothers to know what ails Africa, that talks about Africa, that brings Africa, that wants to solve conflicts on the African continent, that highlights sports that can trigger conflict, economic meltdown. Today, media has got plenty in stock on Kenya, and we have plenty on stock for Africa. Nigeria, again, things fall apart. As Chinawa Chebe said, Somalia, again, things fall apart. As we said, we predicted it here. Oh my God, Uganda, the former speaker deserted by President Museveni. What a crisis. In Zimbabwe, we have George Soros has entered the courts, just as George Soros has entered the courts in Kenya. Aha! Now, both countries are struggling to make the systems to block all the activities of Open Society Foundation. I have been telling people in Africa that the Open Society Foundation in the world will create chaos, that George Soros is not sleeping Africa. We make constitutions and then we eat them. We shrink the constitution. Shrinkage of constitutionalism in Africa leads to very serious problems and conflicts. First, Miriam will highlight to us the COVID situation in Africa, 2 or 3 countries, the highest country, and of course Kenya, for us to know how many people in Kenya are now, is Kenya fighting the COVID situation. My name, Dr. David Masanga, son of soil of Africa, all the way from the Political Command Center. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you. On the panel we have Douglas Kirimi, all the way from Meru. Thank you very much. Tawish Olesesana Samuel, all the way from Nairobi, the city. Our special investigative journalist, Samuel Tawish Olesesana. Across the bridge in the city, we have Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama is my colleague. He teaches, he models, he brings up people, he tutors people, he tells it like I do. If Buhari is wrong, we tell him. You don't tell us because you are told 6 feet, point 1, we should keep quiet. We tell you. Who else is going to tell you? Not God. God is not here. God is very far, but we tell you. Then across in the middle, we have one gentleman called Daniel Sean, the invisible Colombo, the Colombo man, around there, and one of the punchline investigative journalists. Thank you very much. The man who patches Nigeria together and finds the faults of Buhari with Samuel Tawish and Miriam Ogutu. Down in Harare, the capital city of Zimbabwe, we have none other than Saxon Zima. Saxon Zima is my colleague, is one of my correspondents in Zimbabwe. Thank you very much. He represents the SADC region, and he is an expert on warfare. He knows more what is happening in Mozambique. Welcome to the show, Saxon Zima. Are you there?
Good morning, panelists. Good morning, viewers. Good afternoon, rather. I'm there. I'm around.
Thank you very much. And back to the studio to Miriam Ogutu. We thank all our viewers wherever you are across Africa, in Nigeria. We shall not keep quiet. We shall be telling Buhari day in, day out, his mistakes until we come to the AU. We want to find out why AU is quiet when Nigeria is falling to pieces. We are not going to keep quiet. We want to find out why Somalia is falling to pieces. Why is refusing the African Union mediation? There you are. The topics are very interesting. And then we want to find out a lake that has turned into lava and hot in Democratic Republic of Congo. There's a lake that is about to boil. And I don't know, Africans, we have a problem. We are still waiting for this lake to burst, then we run away. But it has given you signals that that lake could come from, all the water from Atlantic could be actually coming through there. So you never know how God has created the geological formation of this world, that there is water and lava. So Tawish, as an expert from Narok, where the Rift Valley passes and where the animals are, you will tell us more about the geological formation of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where Ngoma is supposed to be Ngomadi. So I don't know why people are still waiting when the thing is telling you I'm coming. The problem with Africa, Miriam, is we don't listen. We wait until the last minute. Back to you in the studio. Thank you very much, my panel.
All right. Thank you so much, Doc. And I will not get too much into the COVID statistics right now, but perhaps the number of people that have been vaccinated so far in the country right now standing at 952,967 people so far. We are nearing that 1 million mark there of the people who have been vaccinated against COVID-19, and of course the drive there continues. So that is that. We get into the Kenyan topics, Doc, and you'll start it for us.
Thank you very much, Miriam. I want to tell the world, the last 1 week has been very hectic for the people of Kenya. The annulment, I hope the Englishmen here and the woman, Lady Miriam and others will say I've spoken nicely. Annulment, to annul of the verdict of the High Court ruling that came. The annulment has caused a lot of chaos, anxiety, pressure, and to some extent it could trigger a big crisis. If you read at this ruling of the 5 judges, Miriam, something has cropped up. You know, I never stop reading. And I never stop reading, don't stop reading. I went back to read this ruling of these judges. I found that these judges have opened window number 3 of staging Kenya to a conflict. You know the window number 3, which says, don't touch the center. What is it called? Don't touch. There is a word, Tawish. Don't touch the basic center, the basic system. The basic structure. You see, the whole ruling is based on that. Don't touch the basic structure. This ruling tells us that the constitution of Kenya in the whole world, since Jesus died, it is the only one which is the 10 Commandments. Are you with me now? If someone says, don't touch the 10 Commandments, welcome, Professor, I've seen you. Take your time. Don't touch the basic structure. What does this person mean? He has opened another way of triggering a conflict in Kenya. Because there are only 2 ways of changing the constitution. One way is through the parliament, the other way is through the popular initiative. But what the NGO, the judges, the cabal of judges, the 5, they went and opened another channel. And who benefits? I've been telling the people of Kenya, and I'm not ashamed, and I will not be shy. Don't think you'll cow me from saying what I want to say. Even Malcolm X said it, and he was assassinated. I'm ready to die for the truth. I am ready to speak the truth about Africa. Let me tell you, the 5 judges opened up a George Soros conduit of regime change. Do you know where we are now? Nyachama, do you know where we are? You know our trousers are caught not only in the knees, they are caught in the knees you can run, the ankle you can't. Because if the trouser is in the knees, you can run. That is why it's called catch 22. It balances the body, the upper one and the lower one. But now, today, where we are, the government of Kenya has been put in the ankles. The trousers in the ankle, you can't change the leg. Look at it. They went and opened up a channel to say which is unconstitutional, that you cannot change the structure of the constitution of Kenya. The basic structure of the constitution of Kenya. Now they became 3. 2 are legal, 1 is illegal. Where they have put us, Miriam, is a very sorry state that no Kenyan, no government, no lawyer can come back and say, hello, I'm in the appeal. And they gave us 21 grounds to appeal for 21 grounds and come out with all of them set aside. I don't know. I think we are nearing Jerusalem, but I think we're in Jericho. I don't know, but we shall wait and see. So, the whole of this last week, Kenya has had a problem. Kenya has had these difficulties, a constitutional mechanism that was well meant to heal the wounds of the people of Kenya has been turned into a romantic circus of activist judges that have delivered all their rulings against the 21 submissions. They have actually nullified 21, given an annulment which stands until otherwise. It makes it very difficult, therefore, to navigate through the hurdles that George Soros and the group and the NGOs have set together with the judges. The only thing that is left in Achama and the panel and the media maybe is to overhaul the church, the whole entire court. The whole entire court. And you leave the Chief Justice. But the whole High Court, the Parliament can go back to sack the entire Parliament. Court, yes. That if the government does not take those routes, we are in very big trouble. They can go and choose the government, but let the Parliament of Kenya return, cut the recess, and get rid of the yes, it happens. It happens in countries. Your Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta, it happens. The Parliament can tell you that we have had enough. We are the people who pay the money, who said pay the court 200 million, 2 billion, 5 billion, 50 billion. We are fed up. Let's have a standoff. Let the Parliament come back and tell these people that Wanjiku, the man you say you protect, you are not protecting the man properly, the Wanjiku properly. Go home. Because they have done an illegality. For me, if I were a Kenyan, a head of state of Kenya, the only option left for me is to tell the entire bench of the High Court or Constitutional Court to walk home. You take decisions, people will laud you. 20 judges are not going to break Kenya. They cannot stay there, go around boasting, telling us they have done very well, yet they have actually blocked. They have created another third axis, a third axis of how you can not change the constitution. If you cannot, Miriam, imagine, I want to ask a question to the panel. If you are Kenyan and you cannot change your constitution, then you have two books that you have to read, the Bible or the Quran, which you cannot be changed. Then you add the constitution. Radical situations need radical medicine. If I'm wrong, back to you, Miriam.
Well, Doc, thank you so much. Now, the ODM leader, Raila Odinga, is pleading with the Court of Appeal to intervene and halt the implementation of the High Court decision that stopped the push to amend the Constitution so that the effort so far expended does not go to waste. At the same time, Attorney General Kihara Kariuki has raised the possibility of President Uhuru Kenyatta being impeached or sued in his personal capacity unless the Court of Appeal lifts the findings of the High Court that the head of state had contravened the Constitution, in particular Chapter 6, for initiating and promoting a constitutional change. I'll start with you, Samuel Tawish, just from where Doc has left.
Thank you so much, Miriam Ogutu, and my colleague panelists, and indeed everyone who is watching us this afternoon. Like indeed Dr. Masanga has put it, we as a people of Kenya have got ourselves into a precarious situation, a situation that presents us with a possibility of anyone, especially those who do not mean well for this country and those who do not mean well for the success of President Uhuru Kenyatta, to actually take advantage of that particular ruling and initiate the process to impeach President Uhuru Kenyatta. But thanks to the Kenyan Constitution, I want to say that much as anyone would really imagine or think that will be easy, it could be possible, yes, but it's not as easy as anyone would want to imagine. Because again, there has to be enough grounds to actually allow or permit such kind of an initiative to be allowed even on the floor of the House in Parliament and also the Supreme Court, the Senate and the Supreme Court. So it's not something that will be that easy. But like Dr. Masanga has put it, I think as Kenyans and as a region, we need to be extra careful. We need to be so keen. We need to be so vigilant that nobody can take the advantage of that ruling or that loophole to go ahead and bring us or take this country into a constitutional crisis, Miriam. Because again, like Dr. said, the push that now the BBI promoters are having to actually appeal this ruling should not only focus actually on whether BBI should proceed or not. It should also be focused on actually vacating the whole verdict that the judges actually made. Because if it is left to stay, it is very dangerous, and anyone can really use that judgment to institute a process to remove President Uhuru Kenyatta in office. And like Dr. Masanga said, I mean, this is not the first time that such kind of advances have been made. I mean, there are those people who do not want President Uhuru Kenyatta really to finish his term well. There are people who want to put, not necessarily want, but they have been putting roadblocks on President Uhuru Kenyatta's developmental agenda in this country. One is also to create a state of despondency, especially amongst the people of Kenya. Because again, when you make it difficult for a president to implement his manifesto, when you make it difficult for a president to actually fulfill the promises or pledges he made through court battles, the litigations that we are seeing every now and then in our Kenyan judiciary, which are many times allowed, and everyone really wonders, what is the hidden interest in all these petitions that we are having? What is the hidden interest in all these litigations that we have in our courts? And what will be the interest of the judiciary or some clique in the judiciary in mostly permitting these litigations or these injunctions on President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially on matters of public interest? Take, for example, the BBI. I mean, BBI really is a document that means well for this country. It's a document that has gone through a rigorous process, public participation. It's a document that has seen an enormous support from the ordinary wananchi through the, of course, collection of signatures. We saw over 4 million Kenyans actually had to append their signatures. Almost 5 million Kenyans had to put their signatures there, actually endorsing this document. The county assembly members who are the representatives of the people, these are people who are representing the electorates, also have endorsed the document. You come to the National Assembly, both the National Assembly and the Senate have endorsed this document. It's a popular document that has the backing of almost every Kenyan today. But here you have 5 judges who just come and say, we cannot proceed. I mean, they have put brakes on this particular process, which is very unfortunate because, again, they know through BBI, President Uhuru Kenyatta may be in a position to realize most of his agenda, most of his legacy is really also anchored on this, BBI. Because, again, when you talk about the aspect of unity of this country, when you talk about bringing Kenyans together, the inclusivity, it is all being anchored in this document called BBI. So when people come and stop it, what essentially are they? What essentially will be their intent? The intent here is to derail and completely scuttle President Uhuru Kenyatta's chances of actually achieving his legacy. But I'm very hopeful, Miriam, that now with the new Chief Justice in place, Martha Koome, every other Kenyan out here is really hopeful that she's going to have a cleanup of the judiciary so that we have individuals through the Judicial Service Commission, so that we have individuals who are serving in this judiciary, not necessarily serving their own interests or interests of other external forces, but serve the interests of the people of Kenya who have given them the mandate to serve in that particular judiciary. It is Kenyans who have donated that power to them, but otherwise they should not actually
thank you very much
for granted or misuse that power.
Tawish, you have made your point. The points are very clear. It is in the interest of the people, people's interest. What are the people's interests? What the people want? What is it the judiciary that should now rule Kenya? Oh, let me come to Nachama. Please tell us, is it the judiciary that should lead this country? From the question of Miriam. And we have a lot of things. Just
Thank you.
Faster. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. And my fellow panelists, I think, and all listeners, wherever they are listening, as they're all viewing us from. First of all, and I think I have said here before, do you know Miriam and Dr. Masanga and my fellow panelists, in the book of Matthew, let me now speak as a Christian, is that there was a time the top lawyers, the Pharisees, attempted Jesus Christ and asked him of all the entire system of the 10 Commandments, which was the most important. I think let's get the perspective from there. And I hope the judges are listening. The Prince of Peace himself, when they attempted to ask him which is the most important commandment, you know, Jesus said, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love the Lord your Lord with all your heart. What was he simply saying? The most important law is the law about people and their peace and love. That's the most important commandment. He never cited any of the most important commandments of the 10. Look at the judges. They're using their human intellect to isolate the most important clauses in the Constitution which cannot be amended. That is absolutely erroneous. And they're trying to import the basic structure, which is in fact not in the Constitution itself. I don't know where they're importing from. Dr. Masanga, as you have asked, and I think my take has been very consistent here, is that the welfare of the people is the supreme law always. That's what we call it, the popul supreme lex maxim, which is applicable in the world when you want to bring peace. Dr. Masanga, Miriam, I want to tell you, the greatest threat to the independence of the judiciary is not the executive. It is the personal interest among the judges. That is the most threat to the independence of the judiciary. And I think my take regarding to all these issues is that those people who are appealing, or the interested parties who are appealing, they need exclusively, wholly and exclusively, as the Tawisha say, to set aside all the rulings. And that can be done. And remember, Dr. Masanga, me, I have never deviated from my mentor, Abraham Lincoln. He said he had the same challenges. He told the judges, the bigger picture is the welfare of the people, is the nation. That is why he posed the question, can you preserve a constitution after people have perished? He said no. And that is why he acted in a manner to preserve the nation. And in fact, he went further to say, when I took my oath of office, what came first was my allegiance to the republic. Then he came next, then I would uphold the Constitution as stipulated in this oath of office.
Very well.
I have confidence myself that the Court of Appeal is going to set aside, because this is an offensive judgment which was made by the 5 judges bench. And it is very unfortunate. I think the President of the Republic of Kenya does not run short of options, even according to Article 256. He can still move and form a government of national unity, which in a way is going to solve the challenge at hand.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. All right, Daniel Wasongo on the same question. And please, let's hurry up. 2 minutes max.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Miriam, and fellow panelists and the viewers who are viewing us across the continent of Africa. And first and foremost, I would like to clarify unequivocally that the government is made up of the 3 arms, that is the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And as Dr. Nyanchama said, the role of the government is to look after the affairs of the people of Kenya. And when you look at the judiciary of the Kenyan government, Miriam, it has been a judiciary that has always come to the limelight due to the outrageous judgments that have always thrown the entire government into the quagmire. You remember the last advisory that the former Chief Justice David Maraga gave to the president was one of dissolving parliament so that this country can go into anarchy. You look at these other 5-bench judges, the kind of ruling they've made in this BBI agenda. It is one that really robs the Kenyan people of their own people-driven initiative of the BBI. And that is where the interest of the people comes in. Did these judges look at whatever recommendations that are there in the BBI, the right to have peace as a Kenyan people, the right to access funds through devolved functions as it is envisaged in the BBI, the right for Kenyans to actually have tax holidays, amongst many other good recommendations that have been put there in the BBI. Did they look at it or did they just give it a blind eye? To me, Miriam, I believe that these 5 bench judges prosecuted this particular case based on the court of public opinion, and they did not delve much deeper to look at the far-reaching recommendations and the agendas that have been put there in the BBI report that eventually, when if implemented, will benefit the people and the larger population of the Kenyan citizenry. So to me, Miriam, I think this was a very vast judgment, and it carried the interest of a few selfish individuals within the judiciary and the civil society groups. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. Douglas Kiremi. Jevan Karanja.
Thank you, Miriam, and also my fellow panelists, and also to Dr. Masanga. I think for me, I have no kind words for the judges that have pre-existed the people of Kenya. At this point, Miriam, the BBI journey is a journey that has been started by the people of Kenya, and there is nothing even in the constitution that the people of Kenya would want to do with their constitution that can be pre-existed by any judge or any judgment. The changes that we want to do on our constitution, or the changes that the people of Kenya want effected, are changes that the people of Kenya have decided. They have said when those town halls were being done, when people of Kenya were pending those signatures on the BBI document, the people of Kenya said that these are issues that they want to look at. The circles that we used to go during elections, the people of Kenya said that they wanted to see those things behind them. And in every constitution, they have that clause that says that all sovereignty belongs to the people of that particular country. The preamble of our constitution actually says the people of Kenya, all sovereignty belongs to the people of Kenya, and the power, that power they can exercise it directly or indirectly. So there is no judge, whether you are paid by George Soros, whether you are acting from your own intuition, whether you are acting from your own guts. The point is, you cannot pre-exist the will of the people of Kenya. And the will of Kenyans, or the aspirations of the people of Kenya, is to have their constitution changed so that those issues will be looked at, Miriam. So at the end of the day, when you look at the judgment or the ruling that the court made, is it to the best interest of the people of Kenya? Is it according to the aspirations of the same people who appended their signatures on the issues that they wanted looked at? Is that a ruling going to work for the people of Kenya as per their ideals or issues that they wanted looked at in that constitution? Miriam, as I submit my point is, these people, all of them, the judges who made this ruling did not account for the people of Kenya and the power that they have to change their constitution. Miriam, we can keep going to court now each time and every now and then, but the point is the people of Kenya will continue going back and also have the constitution changed. There is no judge seated there who has a moral authority to pre-exist the people of Kenya. Every judgment and every ruling under those courts that are using powers donated from the constitution that cannot even pre-exist the people of Kenya themselves, because all sovereignty and power belongs to us, we the people. Miriam, as I submit my point, these judges are working in futility, and at the end of the day, they need to be considerate of the aspirations or the ideals of the people of Kenya. And these ideals or aspirations are to change the constitution. They don't want to go back where they have been going to after every 5 years. They want more resources to the grassroots. These judges want more resources to stay in Nairobi so that thieves will steal, and so that when they appear in their courts, they will not be subjected into prison or subjected into a fair trial and send these thieves to jail. They will continue receiving bribes, and like they have continued, Miriam, Some of them have an history of protecting land grabbers, drug dealers, and drug barons in this country to continue killing and destroying the future of our children. So Miriam, the point is, at the end of the day, it has to work for the people of Kenya. Either way, no matter how we look at it, no matter how biased the judges were, if they were not approved by the president because of their past records, at the end of the day, they have to look at the best interest of the people of Kenya. And those interests is to pass BBI, is to get BBI to change the constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Nobody should take us from this constitutional moment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Douglas Karimi, all the way from Meru County. Now, Professor Attorney General Kihara Kariuki raises the possibility of President Uhuru Kenyatta being impeached or sued in his personal capacity unless the appellate leaves the findings of the High Court that the head of state had contravened the Constitution, in particular Chapter 6, for initiating and promoting a constitutional change. So it appears if this is not rectified, we are facing some other problems that we might not be ready to deal with as a country. Professor.
Yeah, Miriam, I have keenly followed the discussion going on. And as far as the judgment of the 5 judges, Miriam, I have read it and I've moved on. The president has got 435 days, Miriam, to go home. Some of these judges, Miriam, who was sitting in the bench, they have been even mentioned that they are involved in drugs and they are needed in the United States of America. Some of these judges, Miriam, they were supposed to be promoted to Court of Appeal. The intelligence say that the judges are corrupt. The president and his government and his andras have allowed those judges to be in office. So when they mess you up, Miriam, you turn around and you start crying when the judges have been said that they are corrupt. They have basically messed up with these records. The Jubilee Party came with a recommendation, Miriam, that it wants to discipline its readers, including the deputy president. They gave a recommendation. And at the end of the day, when it reaches at the door steps of the president, it doesn't take action. So, Miriam, from where I sit, maybe perhaps the president continue preparing for the 435 days to do the much he can do. In terms of BBI, Miriam, I've looked at the appeal, the memorandum of appeal, which are the points which are put, Miriam. I don't think, as the way Dr. Masanga was trying to put, Miriam, that you can be able to turn those 21 points which the bench put forward. So, Miriam, sometimes I've said, when you see an earthworm, when it rains, and you think, in actually what you are seeing is a small snake, and you think it is an earthworm. Eventually, it will grow, and it will become a big snake, and it will bite you, and you will die. And this is exactly the situation we are. Perhaps hope that the new Chief Justice, Miriam, will be able to take action. And hear this, Miriam. Do you know that tomorrow they are going to choose the president of the Supreme Court? Do you know? They perceive the one who is acting may be friendly to the government. So, Miriam, those people who are assisting the president, these andras, one of the reasons, Miriam, they pretend they know, and when they know nothing. The other point, Miriam, they are arrogant, they don't listen. We have all this beautiful discussion we put across. We say, you think they say that that's just past time and they have academic exercise. So unless and until the people who are assisting the government, the president govern this country, give him correct information, give him correct intelligence, Miriam. From what I have seen, they appeal, they are good, Miriam. You know, I am not a lawyer, but I have got a clear understanding of the law. That appeal, to me, it seems to be shallow and oral. I submit.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor. That is where we mark the end of Kenyan topics. We get to African topic. Or is there anything else you'd like to add to that before you get into the issue of Nigeria and why it's falling apart?
Miriam, you have forgotten there is one gentleman all the way from Harare.
Oh, Saxon.
Saxon.
Yes.
Mr. Saxon Vima from Harare is on. Maybe call him. He's there.
Hello.
All right, go ahead, Saxon. Sorry, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Mr.
I just want to comment on the Kenyan scenario.
Mm-hmm.
It's the new trend with these NGOs funded. They want now to hijack the judiciary to create constitutional crisis in Africa. So it's something not new, but I think something needs to be done to avoid putting the Kenyans create a constitutional crisis in Kenya, because it's not good for development. It reverses all the gains that President Uhuru Kenyatta did make during his last term. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. That is Saxon Asvina, all the way from Harare, Zimbabwe. They are joining us this afternoon here. It is 3 p.m. On the dot there. Yes.
Miriam, before you leave, if I want the world to take this very seriously, Article 143 of the Kenyan Constitution is very clear, written in black and white, that 1, criminal proceedings shall not be instituted or continued in any court against the President of the Republic of Kenya or any person acting as a President of Republic of Kenya. 2, civil proceedings shall not be instituted in any court in Kenya of any person, the President acting in that capacity. So you tell me Raila Odinga wants to tell us that we should keep quiet. These are land judges. Where did they go to school? Which school did these judges go? Which does not see this constitution? Miriam, here. It is here. This is the constitution of Kenya. And the judge sits fighting in a court that is 10 hours for us to listen to garbage, to listen to garbage that you can institute civil proceedings against a president. Hello? Where has this been in the life? So we should call that Raila Odinga and Musalia Mudavadi and others are telling us, we honor judges who are good. Mr. Former Prime Minister, we agree with you. If the judges are very good, yes. But if these judges are lumpens, like they are, they don't read the Constitution, and they go on the right that you can institute proceedings against Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the sitting president of Kenya. Even a fool who has not gone to school like me, I would not accept. So the truth here is this. Are these the judges we are looking for? You know, these Kenyan judges look like the Sharia judge of Nigeria. The one who said that his papers were eaten by termites. A judge said, where are your papers? He said, no, my papers were eaten by termites. I don't know which type of termite is in Nigeria that eats a whole certificate. Then they come for all the certificate of an 80-year-old judge. So, this is you know, Miriam, can I teach can I review with one word, all of you? Have you ever heard of something called colored legislation? Colored ruling. If they have the language, let them know that I've now dug in. We are not going to accept political stupidity. These judges did not act legally. Surely they also, someone has to sue them for having misled the Kenyans. If I were a Kenyan, I would be in the court for you not having read the Constitution We pay you to read the Constitution. The Kenyan judges are paid to interpret the Constitution. They interpreted the Constitution wrongly. Therefore, someone in Kenya, listen to me, wake up with an application to remove these guys from office. We are, as Wanyari is saying, Miriam, we have been talking and talking and talking. We give advice here. We don't get paid for this advice. No, we have had enough. But if people are not going to do it, who are we to do it? Someone in Kenya wake up and go and get these 5 judges on that section alone. They are removable. They are removable. You don't need to wait in court of appeal. And the Attorney General also should spread out. This is a political fight. It is no longer a legal fight. It's a political fight. We should all join this fight and start fighting to protect the integrity of the president. Yes. Mnatuambia, oh, respect the court. Respect what? It's bollocks. How? Kwenda. I cannot respect that. That's stupid. I have gone to school. I cannot. A judge is saying that you can take the judge, you can take the president to court. When Article 143 says, don't take the president, then you are misleading Kenyans. So where are you people? Nachama, what are you doing? Gerard Wanyari, if you don't have the money for filing an application, come to me. Gerard, come. Don't only criticize from the fence. Come. We shall do a harambe. An M-Pesa. You go and file an application against these 5 men and 4 men and 1 woman for misleading the public. Let them also feel the pressure that there is an application pending. If it is found that they misled the public by saying that you can go and institute proceedings against the sitting president, then they violated the Constitution. Isn't it? There you are. I brought in a new angle. And the Kwanza leo, from today onwards, this week, itakuwa mkono kwa mkono, umundu kumundu. It's not going to be business as usual. The Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, stay out of this. You are telling us that these guys should dismember the whole BBI, which you worked for very well, and then you are telling us to keep quiet. Are they keeping quiet? They have made a ruling public. Why don't they allow us to talk about them? Why? Why? Even the judges in Britain, which brought the law here, are criticized. And this one is from where? Unless someone also is in George Soros' pocket. Musilete, tunaweza keukania. Musilete haki ya Mungu. Don't bring, we can bring it. We are just patient. We are just patient. And we have been restrained. Muta silete mambo. Let nobody bring the problems of Buhari. The way Buhari is running the Nigeria. When he doesn't know what to do with Nigeria. People are dying, then he's busy running around with longest councils around Africa. That is going to Paris. Stupid. Thank you, Miriam.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. David Watanga. Now, that marks the end of our Kenyan topics. Now, let's just get into Africa. And we start with Nigeria. Is it falling apart? What can be done? And is there possibilities of a military coup? And the latest from Nigeria. Nigeria's military is investigating reports that the leader of the armed group Boko Haram may have been killed or seriously injured following clashes with the rival group, an army spokesman has said. Abubakar Shekau has been the figurehead of the organization that has since 2009 killed more than 30 100,000 people, forced about 2 million people to flee their homes, and spawned one of the world's humanitarian crises. And also, a top-ranking army commander was killed in a plane crash that also left 10 people killed. And as we speak right now, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari is in the eye of the storm as criticism swells around him over the level of insecurity under his watch as Nigeria's leader. Dr. Started for us.
Miriam, let me kick-start it. A few weeks ago, all intelligence worldwide, and then people should not, I now like the way Onyari has brought it out. People should not underrate us. We give information which is very valuable. In Kenya, in Africa, I told this same television where Miriam was interviewing us on one Sunday, and I said there is a possibility of a military coup in Nigeria because the abductions, the killings, the corruption, the negligence that Buhari has exhibited in the second term and the first term, when he told us he would finish Boko Haram, leads to one solution: to get him in power, arrest him, and he goes out. So I got that intelligence long time ago, and I'm not going to lie that I am a member of International Institute of Strategic Studies, a life member. If you study political science and you're in London, you join the membership, you pay your membership. After 10 to 20 to 15 years, you become a life member, and you subscribe to that institute. It teaches so many people worldwide. I picked information that there is something which could happen. You could see it. Don't tell me, why did Buhari leave Paris without ceremony? How did he enter Nigeria without ceremony? Why was he hiding? Then the following day, the plane carrying his army chief and other all officers kills them. Even if you are not a person who is Gabriel, who sees everything ahead, you can see the threads. The intelligent threads can lead you to say this guy, maybe after coming from Kaduna in the north, where the plane was coming back to finish a gig, finito. So there must have been instructions to wipe out. We as allegedly, this is the rumor. We as journalists, we are not passing rumor, but we are passing allegedly. So the question of how the plane could kill intelligence officer or the military intelligence officers, national intelligence officer, plus the army chief who was on duty. And then no sooner had the plane landed and killed the people than the announcement that the Boko Haram man has been injured. We have had this announcement several times. But this injured man cannot be captured and be brought on TV. For us, when we injure Al-Shabaab, when we injure them, we show you. We show Al-Shabaab injured, captured. Where is this injured man? Is he injured in the leg, in the stomach, in the buttocks? Where? Or where is he injured? We want to know. We are entitled. The world wants to see the injured man. This story does not work out. This story is a cover-up to say there is a gain in as far as insurgency is concerned. 2, Nigeria has fallen apart. You like it, you don't like it, Nigeria is not going back to where Nigeria used to be. Nigeria is a big giant of Africa, who has fallen down, gone down on the knees under Buhari's administration. Buhari has killed Nigeria. And any president in Africa, help us. Help us. Help Nigerians. Help Biafrans. Help them to come out of this quagmire. Help. The AU is not helping because the man in the AU is also a Fulani called Mahamat Faki from Chad, who helped to maim his own president. I have evidence. Yes, I have evidence that the rebels who came from Libya to come and kill General Debris, AU knew that they were those rebels. Mahamat Faki knew they were those rebels. Mahamat Faki knew the French were paying those rebels, who are commanded by General Haftar Khalifa. Who doesn't know? Nyonye mdanganya danganya watoto. Who doesn't know? Who doesn't know that the rebels in Libya were trained under the auspices of Africa chairperson Mahamat Faki? He knew because they were working in his interest. He wants to become the president of Chad. So killing this man was a pleasure for him. Why hasn't he brought out the question of Nigeria to the African Union at the center and asked Buhari with his foreign minister to explain why people are being kidnapped, killed, raped, butchered, slaughtered? You know, younger girls are raped, are taken hostage. They have been abducted, taken by Boko Haram. And you are saying your African Union. Where is African Union, Miriam? Where is Mahamat Faki, a Fulani tall 6 feet? He is the problem of Africa. He has sold. When they say they are running to Paris, you saw him there in Paris. In Paris going to his masters. I am happy that President Uhuru Kenyatta did not go. And I'm happy that Museveni did not go. Because they are Pan-Africanists. They value Pan-Africanism. You can't go to such a meeting where they're asking you, they are giving you back your own money. Isn't it time for Africa? Why are we calling Africa? Have we lost our brains? That you go to Paris to say, yeah, Your Excellency Maraconi, Mr. Frogo Maracon. Yeah, Your Excellency, I have come here, I'm begging money. You are begging your money. Some of these African leaders are a mess. Haki ya Mungu, they are a mess. They are a very big disgrace to African continent. And I'm shocked that Kagame fell a victim, also arrived there. Because what is happening is the Kagame's former foreign minister has become the Secretary General of Francophone. Soros State, Your Excellency, comrade, I am your friend number one in Africa. You know it. But you should not play with these same people. In 1994, they killed many people. They watched many people die. Don't play with them. Don't go and host. Be hosted, be given food, be given wine and drink and perfumes. Then you come back when Africa is bleeding. So what was Buhari going to do there? What was Buhari doing there? What if Buhari is an English-speaking country? What was he going to do there? They call it French-speaking countries. Unless he's going to collect perfumes for his wives, which he always collects. Some of them, he can't service them. Yeah, he can't service the wives. Some people are taking wives. You collect more wives for what? The energy is gone, leave it. Head of state leaving a country, falling to pieces. A country is dying. Nigeria is falling to pieces, and Buhari is running to Paris to beg. How can you beg when you have more money than them? Total Oil has nothing to offer Nigerians. There is no petrol at a petrol station in Nigeria. Surely there is no kerosene. No. No, Miriam.
Yes, there are a couple of issues that you brought up that have had some news I read here a couple of weeks ago, and one of them is the issue of a coup. And there's a time President Buhari met with high security officials there in Nigeria, and after that meeting, the security officials came out and said there have been claims of a coup, of the military wanting to dispose him, and they came out and said no, they're standing with the President Buhari, and there's no coup that is being planned by the army. And I wondered, that is very interesting, because that is not a conversation that just comes from out of nowhere. And I wondered, if there is some smoke, then there has to be some fire. And the issue of Boko Haram, there's this cleric in northern Nigeria that has been acting on behalf of the people who are being kidnapped and mediating even in behalf of the government. And he knows where these Boko Haram people are. He knows how to contact them. And he has all the contacts and the necessary information needed. So why would the government of Nigeria not do something about it? And that Muslim cleric has become very powerful in the northern Nigeria. So why is he still left to just, remember like the ones we had in the Kenyan coast here? Why is the government of Nigeria not using him or holding him accountable? Because he seems to know more than what we know, and the government of Nigeria seems to do really nothing there. So I wondered, why is this possible even?
Miriam, he even asks for permission to go for treatment and come back. You saw that. I am going for treatment in India and come back, and then radicalize the people. Now the whole of that region is gone. We are here yapping. We are here looking. African Union is looking. Because in African Union, President Uhuru Kenyatta should know, African Union is manned by France. It captured African Union long time ago. Mr. Muhammad Faki is paid by the French not to do anything. And he sits down, he watches Gabon. Look at Cameroon. Look at Cameroon sinking. Next week we are doing Cameroon. 2 leaders of Amazonia will be on this station. We are doing it. They will show you how bad the situation is in Cameroon. Why are people watching Africa perish? Then you are called to run for handouts. Then you get into a plane, you go and beg Macron, a younger man, you a general of 82 years old. You are going there to beg. Your country is falling to pieces. No. Surely, even if you say, even if I don't know why God created us black, but we have a problem, I think. I don't want to change my color from like a Congolese in DRC. But this is no. Miriam, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, in the recent past, not a day goes by, sometimes even in an hour's time goes by without the press reporting of a deadly attack in Nigeria or an abduction or something that has to do with insecurity. And yet President Buhari seems to do nothing really there. Samuel Tawish, why do you think this is the case?
Madam, thank you once more. And I think I'm going to be brief on this. You're asking the question as to the possibility of a coup in Nigeria. And to me, it's not really a concern whether or not there is going to be a coup. The most important thing is, if the coup is going to occur and that coup is going to bring back sanity in Nigeria, so be it. If the coup is about removing President Buhari from power and installing another person who is going to bring back sanity to Nigeria, so be it. Because today, the people of Nigeria are living a hopeless life. They're living in fear of their lives in terms of security. I mean, in terms of the Boko Haram, in terms of the corruption that has ravaged the entire country, in terms of the lack of job opportunities for the young people. You heard even last time when Dr. Masanga had an interview with Namdi Kanu, he did speak about Nigeria not having oil in its own, of course, pump centers, when Nigeria is one of the biggest actually producers of oil in the continent of Africa. What does it speak? We do not have a proper leadership in Nigeria. And therefore, to me, Miriam, if there's any advance, if there's any initiative, if there's any plan being mooted to make sure that President Buhari gets out of power, I do not have a problem with that. So because, again, this status quo has to be disrupted for the people of Nigeria to begin having a conversation towards that which they really want. Because, again, look at the people of Biafra today as we speak, the Igbo. How are they feeling now? I mean, President Buhari has not even allowed for a referendum over how many years now? Over 10 years, when there's been that agitation for a referendum. So to me, Miriam, just in brief, I support calls for a coup if that coup is about actually making sure that President Buhari exits power in Nigeria. Miriam, I submit.
Mm-hmm. And it's also very important to note that the generals who died, these are new appointments that were appointed in January, and President Buhari was very hesitant in having new appointments because he was saying if he removed the older security officials, then that will pose a security to the country. And I remember we had that conversation here and we wondered, then what does this top security people in Nigeria know, and are they holding the country at ransom? Now that they've been removed, it will be a problem. And now we've seen this is the second time, except this time I think the generals died. There had been another attempt earlier a few weeks ago of an army plane that crashed while it was landing, but it did not kill any people. But 2 days ago we saw that happen. So what could be happening there in Nigeria, Daniel Wesonga?
Yes, thank you, Miriam. And of course, in the words of Dr. Matsanga David, who has been an expert in the issues regarding Nigeria, I will say that the leadership in Nigeria under President Muhammadu Buhari is a leadership which is actually at the brink of collapse. You remember when Muhammadu Buhari came into power, he promised to annihilate and exterminate the terrorist group Boko Haram. But up to today, you see the Nigerian army still succumbing to massive losses to this terror group. You see many Nigerians living in fear in the northern part of the country due to this terrorist group. But only also when you look at it, President Muhammadu Buhari has not only failed the people of Nigeria in terms of insecurity, the rising insecurity in government and all that, but also in terms of making sure that the people of Nigeria are able to get good lifestyles and be able to access basic commodities like oil. Nigeria is one of the world's leading oil producers, and it really baffles me when reports come in that Nigerians do not have oil in their country to fuel their own cars. So that tells you that these are leadership which has failed, and the leadership in Nigeria is a bandit leadership, which is governing the people of Nigeria against their very own will as a people. And that is against the international law. And as Darwisha said, this leadership is the very leadership that has been oppressing the people of Biafra through killings, rape, and displacement. And therefore, it has not given them the right to determine their own sovereignty as a country, as the people of Biafra. And therefore, it tells you of the illegitimacy, the atrocities, and the injustices that has been perpetuated by the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari. And to me, Miriam, I think it is not a matter of how, but it's just a matter of when Buhari will be ousted from power. And he knows he's living on borrowed days, and that is why he's very skeptical of even changing the structure of his own army. I submit.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Dr. Joseph Nyachama, President Buhari has been criticized from all sides for his inability to curb the rising insecurity there in Nigeria. From the reports that we've been reading coming from Nigeria, are these attacks warranted?
Oh, thank you, Miriam, my fellow panelists, Dr. Masanga and others. Miriam, if we just got a preview, Buhari has been unwell. He has been sick. If you look at the way he responds to what is taking place in Nigeria, and I have put forth in this forum this hypothesis, are you sure, my fellow panelists, that that man is not incapacitated? You know, you may be thinking that he is sane when he is not. You see, there is no evidence that the person recovered when he was sick. But there is evidence that any sane person who is reasonable, who has feeling for the people he is sure to protect, now that he does not act at all, and he watches young children, citizens being butchered, I can reach to a conclusion. They need to explore a different alternative, that the person could be a state of insanity, a state of incapacitation. And in fact, that is why you see the military top brass are just joking with the Nigerians. Me, I'm appealing to the Nigerians to test the sanity status of Buhari. Number two, Miriam, AU has not moved in. People decided to take a neutral position. Look at what Desmond Tutu said. Any person who takes a neutral position when the oppressor is destroying a nation, he is in the side of the oppressor. All the AU officials who have decided to be neutral on Nigerian matter, they are on the side of those who wanted to destroy Nigeria, especially people from West, France and others. That is it. For me, Miriam, I have reached at a point where I say, I do not think Buhari qualifies to continue leading. He could be incapacitated, and let them begin the motion of removing an incapacitated head of state from office. Because our constitution world over, if you fail to protect your people, you have no business being in office. Miriam, I submit, and that is my position in a consistent manner.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam.
That is Dr. Joseph Nyanchama. You know, President Buhari has not been feeling well, and Dr. David Otanga also has reminded us that he's always taking even a recent trip, I think 2 months ago, to London. He calls them health vacations or health retreats. He always takes them in and out of the country, so he's not been in his best health. So if that is the case, and because we can see by how he's been leading the country, there's not been leadership there in Nigeria. Should they now just step aside and go seek for his medical health, and perhaps leave somebody who is able to pay attention and be present and do what Nigerians elected him to do there? As it is now, he seems to be quite incapacitated if you were to go by how he's been leading that country. Daniel Wasonga. Not Daniel, but Douglas Kirimi.
Miriam, for Muhammadu Buhari, I have no kind words for that president. Miriam, we are at a position where Nigeria is run down today by Fulanians men. We are at a position where Boko Haram runs in Nigeria with reckless abandon. We are at a position where the Republic of Nigeria, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is at the crossroads. Yesterday, the Army Chief of Staff, General Ibrahim Atahiru, was buried together with other military officers who died in a plane crash. Buhari can be able to afford, Miriam, Buhari can be able to afford military jets and also presidential jets to fly him and also his entourage to Paris and also stay in France. But he cannot be able to afford a better aircraft for a man that secures the lives of Nigerians inside and outside Nigeria. Buhari killed his army chief of staff and also continues killing the people of Nigeria with reckless abandon. This is a president that does not care about the people of Nigeria. This is a corrupt man, a sympathizer of Boko Haram, a sympathizer and a fan of Fulanians men. Miriam, I said on this television, and I will repeat again, if a child is abducted in Nairobi today, the president of the Republic of Kenya will not let even that news get to newsrooms. They will have gone ahead and also made sure that they have arrested the kidnappers. Miriam, there was an issue that was flying around in the newspapers about a woman that was swindling Kenyans over 200 million shillings, and that woman has been able to present herself to the DCI this afternoon, which means that in this country, you cannot be able to hide. In Nigeria, if you steal, if you kill, if you maim people like Muhammadu Buhari and the kabar of people at Asorok, you cannot be able to be arrested by anyone, Miriam. People continue saying that the person that is reading the people of Nigeria today is Jibril from Sudan, Miriam. They have no confidence that their president recovered from a sickness. Miriam, this is a man that continues running from capitals of the world. The other time he was being chased by Nigerians from Abuja House in London. The other day he was chased from France by the anticipated military coup, Miriam. The military people, ordinary Nigerians, people are tired of Muhammadu Buhari. People of goodwill outside Nigeria continue talking and also demonstrating against the rogue leadership of Muhammadu Buhari, Miriam. This is a president that has shamelessly run the republic down, Miriam. This is a man that can spend a whole year for a medical trip outside Nigeria. This is a man that doesn't care about whether it is north, whether it's southwest, whether it's southeast. Nigeria, whatever side of Nigeria it is, Muhammadu Buhari has no best interest of the people and property of Nigerians. Miriam, this is a president that should be able to vacate office by public, through the court of public opinion. The people in Nigeria continue suffering. The military watches as he continues even killing his own military army chief of staff, Miriam. It is wrong, it is bad for us to continue watching the AU, international community, watching Muhammadu Buhari run the giant of Africa. Over 200 million are being controlled by one man and a kabar of leaders in Nigeria, Miriam. A time has come for Muhammadu Buhari to be forced out of office, whether through international means, whether by any other means, he should be taken out, Miriam, because Nigeria is being run down by Muhammadu Buhari, his family, and a few of his friends, a kabar of people who continue masquerading as saviors of Nigeria at Asorok, Miriam. We need to be able to tell the people of Nigeria the truth, that we stand with them, and their president does not care about the people of Nigeria. He has nothing. He has no iota of patriotism in his heart. He has no diamond of patriotism in his heart. This is a man that does not care about the flag, the soil, and the sweat of the people of Nigeria, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, thank you so much. Saxon Savina, while Dr. Joseph Nyanchama was talking there, he reminded us, as the president, when you take your oath of office, your first duty is to protect the lives and the people and the country that you lead as a president. President Buhari has failed to do that. What reasons does he still have to still sit there as the president of the most populous country in Africa?
General Buhari is incapable.
Okay, we seem to be having a problem with the connection there, Saxon. Can you hear me? Very well. As Saxon is fixing his gadget, I'll come back to him. But yeah. I'll go to Professor Jado Nyari, and then I'll come back to you, Saxon, if you can get a
Yes, Miriam.
Yes, go ahead, Professor. What business does
Thank you. Thank you. Now we are in Nigeria.
Okay.
And you know, as Pan-Africans, we have got work to do for the continent of Africa. And what we discuss here in Punchline Africa, Miriam, is to be taken serious. Because we have got passion for the continent. We love Africa. We mean well for Africa. Dr. Masanga and several times have said that, and whatever he says, that people take time to listen to what Dr. Masanga is saying. He's an expert, Miriam. Miriam, we keep on talking about Africa Union. The founders, the founding fathers of the African Union, Miriam, they were so much committed towards the security and the peace of Africa, Miriam. A continent which has reached into a point, Miriam, which cannot protect women and children. Is that a continent you will be proud of with its leadership? When the president of Nigeria, Buhari, says that within 100 days, Miriam, we will crush Boko Haram, has he done it? What they keep on is to say that I've injured them, the man, the way Dr. Masanga was demonstrating, so that you can be able to raise emotions of the people of Nigeria to say something is being taken care of. But let me just have this to say, that time has come for the people of Nigeria to have a serious dialogue and conversation and engagement on what they want to do with their country. The center cannot hold more and more, Miriam. And Miriam, I detest that when you are saying that the military will want to overthrow the government of Nigeria in this point of time, Miriam, this is totally unacceptable. Time has come for the people of Nigeria, a population of more than 200 million, a country which produces the highest deposit of oil in the continent of Africa, Miriam. It's a country which cannot enjoy peace. It's a country which cannot enjoy prosperity. It's a country which we talk about the highest level of unemployment, Miriam. The center cannot order more, but time has come for the people of Nigeria to have a serious conversation on how to take their country, Miriam. The people of Biafra, Miriam, should be able now to decide and be given time for self-determination. Because I was listening to the leader of Volcano the other day when he was being interviewed by Dr. Masanga. He said it all. We are not going to sit here and Miriam and discuss and pretend and say that all is well in Nigeria. No, Nigeria, there is something wrong in Nigeria and the leadership of Africa, particularly our President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, who is the chairman for African Peace and Security, Miriam. A serious engagement must be involved, Miriam, and we save Nigeria. If Nigeria is gone and we leave it to the military, Miriam, you know what will follow with all the sanctions, Miriam, is to destroy that country. I don't want to condemn the president of Nigeria, Buhari, Miriam. What do you do to a sick man? As a chaplain, I pray for him that God may heal him and may give him a better sound of mind, Miriam, and he says that he can be able to get out of power. Because out of the 200 million Nigerians, Miriam, there are better women and men who God has prepared who can take Nigeria forward. I submit. All right,
very well. And of course, many Nigerians have voiced concerns and wonder if the government is still in control of that country. Saxon, can you hear me before I get back to Dr. Matanga?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, the Nigerian situation, I think General Buhari is incapacitated. Issue of Boko Haram, I think it needs all Africans to help Nigeria, because the Nigerian army seems not to be able to deal with these terrorists. And General Buhari, I think he gave 100 days that he's going to deal with them. He has failed. Maybe it's high time he seeks help from other people. Because when I look at the population of Nigeria, that's 20% of Africa. If Nigeria is stabilized, the whole West African region will be in time on. So there's need to assist the Nigerians, maybe to find a way forward, solve their problems. Because once Nigeria is stabilized, the whole West Africa will be stabilized. There's need for concerted effort from African leaders to ask Nigeria if they need help. Because the issue of Boko Haram needs to be tackled. I think you've seen how it has spread to other nations, I submit.
All right, thank you. And in the past few weeks, over 200 people have been killed and over 50 people have been abducted in separate attacks across the country, and that is according to the local media and others that have not been able to be reported. So the security there, or the lack thereof of security, is quite dire. Dr. David Matanga, close the subject for us as we move on to another country.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thank you, the panel, for saying a lot about a country that is falling apart, a country that has failed to uphold the rule of law. Is give them a referendum, full stop, and allow them. You can even stagger the referendum and say, okay, you have won the referendum, but the referendum will start in such and such a year. They will not bother you. They will continue waiting for that referendum and the beginning of their state. You don't want that. The whole world is saying Nigeria needs rearrangement. The order of Nigeria today is not the order that fits any African country. Things are being done upside down. Poverty. Imagine people sleeping on water. There are some of the houses I see in Nigeria are on water in the Delta region. I believe all of you on the panel have seen those houses built on water. How do these people feed? How do these people live? A country without roads. Every African country is building roads. Nigeria is not building any roads at all. The old roads that existed during colonialism and post-colonialism, these are the same ones that are there. What is it that we can do for Nigeria to stop the hemorrhage that is taking place? Therefore, I submit that until proper leadership, until Mr. Buhari comes to his senses and gives the people the freedom to choose whether they want to remain together or not, we advocate for an integrated, united Africa. But a united Africa with wounds, a united Africa with blood, a united Africa bleeding cannot be a united Africa. Let's solve the problems of some of our people. Then we can talk of proper integration. Miriam, I submit.
Thank you so much. And with that, continue writing to us. See, a lot of you are commenting on our comment section. I'll go through some of your views and comments there. So keep writing to us. And a lot of Biafrans are present this afternoon. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on where you are tuned in today. We move on to Somalia, where former President John Dlamini Mahama has, in a letter to the chairperson of the African Union Commission, withdrawn his acceptance of the continental body's appointment as its high representative for Somalia. While thanking the AU for the confidence reposed in him, Mr. Mahama noted that the high political importance of the proposed assignment requires that the high representative enjoy the unalloyed support and cooperation from all political stakeholders. President Mahama, whose appointment as the AU envoy has been roundly welcomed by the Council of Presidential Candidates of Somalia and the Coalition of Somalia's federal member states, further cautioned in his letter to the AU chairperson, Musa Faki Mohammed, that the lack of support by the federal government could jeopardize the whole process and to undermine the hopes that the entire world has in bringing peace to the esteemed land of Somalia. And Somalia was uncomfortable with the former president of Ghana saying he's quite close and friendly to Kenya. And Kenya is very friendly to a lot of countries across the world. So is that really our fault? It's called diplomacy. So, Doctor, just start us off with that conversation.
Let me give Onyali a chance to start us off. Okay. Onyali, I pass my chance to you to start us off since you are on the road.
Thank you, Dr. Masanga, for that question. And the former president of Mahama trying to raise concern, Miriam. The fact here, Miriam, that once you have been given an opportunity to bring people together to discuss and bring peace, you must be able to enjoy support from the protagonists and the federal government. So the concerns which the special envoy of African Union is raising, Miriam, they must be taken very serious, Miriam. And you know very well the fact that he appears to be so friendly to Kenya is not enough, Miriam. The fact that the African Union have given him the opportunity, and I have no doubt, Miriam, that if the both sides will give dialogue a chance, Miriam, and we need to support him. And Miriam, I've said here before that the world is getting fatigued with the people of Somalia. So let them just get this opportunity, Miriam, and accord the necessary opportunity and support to the envoy, the special envoy, so that he can be able to go to the bottom underlying core issues. Why Somalia has to take all this time, Miriam, more than 30 years, Miriam, having no government, Miriam, becoming a failed state, Miriam, causing chaos with its neighbors, Miriam, even those people who have supported him, Miriam. This is the opportune time, Miriam, and from Punchline Africa TV, Miriam, we should come forward and support the special envoy. And the concern he has raised, Miriam, African Union and the federal government of Somalia must take it serious, Miriam. I submit.
Okay, but remember, Somalia went seeking for help in African Union, so African Union decided to offer this help. When you're seeking for help, are you the one supposed to be outlining the terms and conditions there? I don't know, Samuel Tawish, before you get back to Dr. Nyancham, Dr. Edwin Matanga.
Miriam, and that is why it is a bit surprising that you have a team or a team of players who have a preferred referee, or who want to actually choose the kind of person who's going to referee the game. And in this case, it's unfortunate that Somalia can give ultimatums and conditions to the African Union to the effect that who is to be appointed by the AU to actually spearhead talks or oversee the talks between the warring parties in as far as the election in Somalia is concerned. So to me, I think this is very unfortunate and it's unacceptable, just like what Professor Onyari has put it. This is not the first time that we are having actually Somalia giving such kind of ultimatums and conditions towards any kind of meaningful discussions and talks. I remember even during that time when Djibouti was trying to actually to strike a truce between Kenya and Somalia regarding the maritime dispute, and Somalia did come out to actually dismiss Djibouti, claiming that they are too close to Nairobi or too close to President Uhuru Kenyatta. It's the same thing, or the same actually excuse they are actually citing today as regards to the appointment of the former president of Ghana, that is John Mahama. I mean, this is a distinguished former head of state. Looking into how he was elected to be president of Ghana, I remember, and even when he was defeated as president, he left power willingly and without any kind of ultimatum. This is a guy who has been trusted in the entire region. So he's a person who should have actually held or spearheaded these talks in Somalia, but it's unfortunate that you have gotten into that level. So my hope only here is, I hope Somalia are not trying to delay or trying to buy time so that we cannot have these talks kick off all the same. I hope that maybe they're not going to continue giving us such ultimatums and conditions so that it makes it impossible for talks to resume or for negotiations to happen, so that the people of Somalia can finally have that election to determine the kind of administration they want actually to continue governing them. So President Farmajo, it's unfortunate from him especially and his administration to continue giving conditions and ultimatums to the African Union and to the region every other time advances are being made to actually pacify and make sure that Somalia can at long last have this peaceful election that the people of Somalia have long desired. So Miriam, this is something that African Union must now not accept, because after all, does President Farmajo want to tell us he wants to select or appoint a person of his own choice to actually spearhead the talks? What are the possibilities that the person or that particular person is also affiliated to him or is actually loyal to him? So what are the chances? Because then he has not given us enough reason or given us a suggestion or a proposal that if it's not former President John Mahama, so it should be a given person. So I don't think that that excuse that they're giving to us really holds any water. It's something that the African Union must not accept. But now that we have crossed over and former President John Mahama has now surrendered and said he cannot continue with the same, because after all, he needs that trust and goodwill from the people of Somalia, the leadership of Somalia, including the warring parties, for him to be able to spearhead these talks without any kind of hurdles. So I hope now AU is going to look in the wider region, because Africa as a continent cannot or may not lack other individuals who have the capacity to oversee such kind of talks. And I hope they could be working on that modality to find a person who can be widely accepted by both warring parties in Somalia. Miriam, I submit.
Thank you. Dr. Joseph Nyanchama, what we are seeing right now in this new problem that Somalia had with the person AU had chosen to mediate through this process, which is the former president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama there. Is it the chaos that they've been having in that country that they're trying to bring here that delayed the election, delayed other processes that were supposed to be happening, and now they're bringing those tactics here to delay the whole process? Are they interested in finding stability in this country at the end of the day?
Thank you, Miriam, and my fellow panelist, Dr. Masanga. Now, firstly, you see, the fact that Somalia now are trying to reject the person appointed by AU, the former president of Ghana, In fact, the only reason why they rejected him is because he's an objective man. You see, if you are used to cut corners and be used by others to destabilize a region, you could be very uncomfortable with a person who's coming for negotiation who's very objective. That is why people who are used in cutting corners will never like to deal with people who are straight, even in business, by the way. I think the fact that AU is an independent body which used various parameters to choose a person to carry out the negotiation. The fact that these people, the Somalia, are refusing, in fact, they are depicting themselves that there is something they are hiding. They never pointed out clearly to what extent the former president of Ghana could be biased. Friendship is a universal phenomenon. In any case, did Somalia expect Ghana or the person himself who was appointed to be an enemy of Kenya? Where is Africa going? We are all supposed to be friends. Did they want him to be the enemy of Kenya? What do you mean by closeness? They never defined the closeness. I think there is something which means more than that. They want this confusion plus the people who are sponsoring them. You know, there are people who believe that in ambiguity, there lies the greatest opportunities. They saw that this man could bring the matter to settle, and they are not ready for that. That's what I'm beginning to believe. In fact, the man was objective, the way is known. And you know, AU as an organization does not just wake up and choose a person. They take him through several steps, and they came to a conclusion, I think is the right man for the job. I think Somalia now, there's something they're hiding. And as Dr. Masanga said before, they are not ready for the peace in the region. For me, that's what I would conclude. Because when you reject somebody, you put the facts and let the whole world read and say, indeed, you are right. This man is not going to be objective on this matter. But they never put forth even one. What does it tell you, Miriam? Somalia is not ready.
Very well.
And we need to find certain ways, either through AU and others, to bring that country to order. I think, Kirimi, can you go back to your job? This man, he needs to be brought to order again. We thought he had come, Miriam, we apologize. We started praising him in earnest.
No,
and it was premature.
But we still need to encourage
I submit, Miriam.
Thank you so much. And I want to bring in Douglas Kirimi. What we're seeing right now, Somalia is saying the only reason they do not want the former president of Ghana is because he's friendly to Kenya. And as Dr. Nyanchama there has reminded us, they've not brought in any other reason as to why. They've not said, is he qualified? Is he the man good for the job? But because he's friendly to Kenya, so they do not want him. And what they're forgetting is Kenya right now is the chairperson of the Peace and Conflict Council in the African Union that appointed Mahama, that is responsible for this mediation process. So what are they saying if they don't want Kenya being part of this, and yet Kenya is the one that is handling this mediation through the Peace and Conflict Council? So this is a losing battle on Somalia's side.
Miriam, at this point, like Dr. Nyanchama said, Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo has deviated completely from the path of upright men and good people, and also Democrats. He has abused the process that we had already seen, that he had charted, the Damascus movement that he had adopted before. Mohamed Farmajo continues stumbling block to the peace of Somalia, to the progress of Somalia, to the development of Somalia, to the evacuation and also the returning of over 400 refugees that reside in our own country here in Kenya, to building a better Somalia, building better governance structures, and also building a better Somalia for people beyond Mohamed Farmajo. And this very same nephew of Siad Barre, who in 1991, when he fell, he took the country to the docks. Mohamed Farmajo continues being a stumbling block to the progress, peace, and stability of their own country. Miriam, you cannot keep rejecting every person that is brought on the table. John Dramani Mahama is one of the people that nobody can dispute that he is qualified and well-equipped to be able to solve the conflict in Somalia. But for Mohamed Farmajo, he continues presiding over anarchy, over evil, and also making sure that the stability is never found in Somalia, and also peace is never guaranteed to the residents of that republic, Miriam. As Mohamed Farmajo continues his hide and seek game and also playing around with the geopolitics of our region, Mohamed Farmajo continues endangering the lives of 400 refugees in this country and thousands of others more in foreign countries and also foreign capitals out there who cannot go to Somalia because peace is not sustainable, stability is not guaranteed in Somalia. Political rapport between him and the civil society and the opposition is not guaranteed in Somalia. Mohamed Farmajo continues to shamelessly destroy the very tenets that hold the people of Somalia together. Their togetherness and also their need to stand with each other. Mohamed Farmajo has refused to stand with the people of Somalia. As a resident of Minnesota in USA, I know he has an American passport that he can be able to use to run away out of the country. As a president, he can be able to take that advantage. But to go to the poor, women and children in Somalia who cannot access school, women that cannot access their farms, that cannot access clean water for their children, because Mohamed Farmajo continues sabotaging the peace process between this country and their own country. This is a man that should be shunned from the community of nations in East Africa and also community of nations internationally, Miriam, because this is a man that cannot commit to a peace process that is guaranteed to help the people of Somalia pacify the peace in their country so that their people can get back together, so that the refugees in our country can no longer suffer the reproach of being refugees in our own country. They should go back to their country and build their country. And Mohamed Farmajo should know that the people of Somalia are greater than himself. As a resident of Minnesota, he can fly to USA. But how many people in Somalia can be able to fly to USA and enjoy immunity and enjoy the freedom that he's going to enjoy in the world of free people? Mohamed Farmajo is the greatest impediment to progress and peace and stability of Somalia. And Miriam, I said, even if he calls for a new election, Mohamed Farmajo should be prevented by all means of offering himself for an election in Somalia, Miriam. This is a man that continues seeing Kenya as an enemy of Somalia, whereas we've been friends of Somalia. Their governments are formed in this country, Miriam. Even Mohamed Farmajo, when he's issuing threats to our people, his relatives are in South Sea and in Ravington. When his ministers are issuing threats, they are issuing threats from Ravington and Kilimani. Mohamed Farmajo should shape up or ship out, Miriam. This is a man that should be taken out by all means from Somalia and also be sent to his own country in USA, Miriam, because at this point, he doesn't care about the poor people in Somalia. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Douglas. Kirimi, Saxon Svina, Kenya has been in the forefront when it comes to mediation in Somalia. Matter of fact, their first parliament after Somalia, after the government was formed, after long years of fighting, was formed in this country. So Kenya has been that brother and that neighbor for Somalia. But for some reason now, there seems to be quite uncomfortable. And so the AU person that was, appointed by AU, that is the former president of Ghana, to go mediate on this impasse that we have in Somalia, that they have created themselves. They cannot even agree on election in Somalia. So they've been buying time and wasting a lot of time. So there seems to be bringing the same tactics here in the African Union. And so the former president of Ghana has said, you know what, I don't want to be caught up in those, politics. Let me remove myself because the peace and stability of Somalia is much bigger than that role. So what are we likely to see? Are they going to bring other issues, or are they even interested in finding a lasting solution there in Somalia?
Saxon left.
Okay, Doc.
Miriam, I have been listening carefully about Somalia. The other time when Somalia gave a sign of hope that they were agreeing to talk and a resumption of diplomatic ties with Kenya, all of us in Africa and East Africa in particular were very happy. But it looks like a leopard never changes its spots. It is still the same leopard. Even when it is being shot, it remains the leopard. Once a leopard, dies a leopard. Somalia is the same. The AU has said, IGAD has said, UN has said, we have nothing much to offer more than to tell the world that we need to pacify Somalia. But if the price of pacification is too high, if the price of pacification is too high, if the people you want to pacify don't appreciate, if the people you want to pacify join hands with the killers, then we must review our strategy. We must review our strategy. The Americans pulled out of Afghanistan because they can't pacify Afghanistan. Kenya must also, and Uganda, think. But for us pulling out of Somalia, we shall be allowing these guys to come closer to us to kill us. Let's stay in Somalia. Let's stay focused. It is unfortunate that Mahama is being rejected, yet is a man who is more democratic than any other African head of state you will bring to deal with the conflict. He's lost 2 elections. He has admitted he never called people to go on the streets of Accra to burn buildings. He just continued with his life, looking for peace for Africa. It's unfortunate. So for me, those are my words today, that if the people you want to pacify don't appreciate your pacification, even the Bible said, collect the dust and they go away. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. And we shall leave that there. And we will continue following this story. And now we head over to Uganda, where the race for the speaker is heating up. There has been controversy on whether the decision to front for speaker and deputy speaker of Uganda's 11th parliament will be made by ruling NRM Party's Central Executive Committee or will be thrown to the NRM Parliamentary Caucus. The two-horse race for stewardship of the House pits outgoing Speaker Rebecca Kadaga against her former Deputy Jacob Olanya. Doctor, you'll correct me, I can't say that name right.
Yes, Olanya.
Yeah, the way Doctor has said it. But as the ruling National Resistance Movement Party Apex organ, CEC holds next last meeting today to resolve the deadlock, Olanya camp insists it is about time his loyalty to the NRM is repaid, while the Kadaga team claim that outgoing speaker is an independent voice that the 11th Parliament needs. Doctor, I'll start with you because you understand the politics in that country better than any of us. So.
Thank you. I think let me do it in summary. Whoever wants to chip in 1 or 2 words can say.
Very well.
I know both of them. Olanya was with me in the Uganda peace talks when we first went to the bush to look for Konyi to sign the agreements. 2, Olanya is married to a cousin of mine from my county and a relative of mine, actually. So he calls me in-law. He's my in-law. Kadaga, in 1985, we ran to exile. Kadaga found us in exile in Nairobi. I know her as a strong woman, a woman who does not budge who does not give way, a woman who says it like a matanga, a woman who says, no, you cannot use parliament to do A, B, C, D. Parliament is parliament. If there was a popular vote in Uganda to elect a new president, and if we had no president, Kadaga would win the majority of the votes. She's very popular with people. She's very popular with decisions she makes. She's popular in defending the integrity of parliament and the integrity of some of the things, the cartels, the corruption scandals that have taken place. Her rulings in parliament has given her, the rulings have given her an upper hand in national status. Maybe President Museveni wants to appoint a new prime minister, maybe wants to appoint a deputy president, but Kadaga herself, she's not a Catholic. In Uganda, we have a problem, and we do what we call balancing. If the president there is a Protestant, is Anglican, we usually bring a Catholic vice president. It has been always the same as it is. I have not identified, I don't know whether Kadaga is a Catholic or an Anglican, but I think she is an Anglican. She used to go in Nairobi, she used to go to All Saints Church. Therefore, I believe is Anglican. So it will be very difficult, Museveni, to make two Anglicans, himself and another Anglican church goer, to be the vice. So maybe the slot could be given, she's going to be given another slot altogether. Now, coming back to the seriousness of the matter, is it has divided the ruling party. It is not a simple matter that you can wash and wake up and walk and say, I have conquered. No, it could divide the party. Speaker Kadaga could stand as an independent speaker. But what does that tell you, Miriam? It tells you that in Africa, we still have archaic constitutions. The Speaker of Parliament of Uganda should be chosen by merit as a speaker, not by merit as a party follower. So, sections of our Ugandan constitution, that a person must come from the ruling party who is going to preside over all parties. Why don't we select a speaker like a House of Commons? Once you are elected as a speaker, you are no longer a party, Labour Party or Conservative. You are now independent. You make decisions as an independent speaker. So this gives a chance to Uganda to interrogate their constitution. The constitution of Uganda is obnoxious. Some articles are very funny, like that article for selecting a speaker, that a speaker must come from the ruling party. So you are biased. You create a very dangerous situation. If that is the case as it comes out, that SEC, which is the Central Executive Committee, which is now the most national organization of His Excellency General Yoweri Gakuta Museveni Tibayiharwa. That new name is still not yet with my tongue. So it is normal that he would lose. There is a possibility of loss of some support of his people. So it closes the topic of Uganda, really. I don't think there is anything much, unless someone is pained by Olanya. Is another point before I go, Miriam. The Chief Justice is from Olanya's home. Now, if you put 2 power centers in one home, I can see you people in Kenya complaining about Mount Kenya. The Uganda one now, if you elect Olanya, you would have the Speaker of Parliament from Olanya's village around Chitugum, and then the Speaker and the Chief Justice, Olufans Ndolo. But you, both of them, I went with them to the bush to look for the warmonger, the gentleman called Coin. Olanya and Olufans, we are together on the same flight. And I am happy they have risen up to the level of winning slots in Uganda politics. That's very good. So you can't put power in, if the president, by any means, something happens in Uganda, the power goes to the Chief Justice. The Speaker of Parliament grabs the power and maintains it while you are sorting a transition. So power will be in 2 hands. 2 arms of government will be in one tribe. There, the mathematics might not be very good. Otherwise, they are all my friends.
Very well. Thank you. And the issue, well, still staying with Uganda, but on a different issue, Uganda and Burundi are finalizing plans to build a new road to promote trade and commerce and circumvent a barrier presented by Rwanda's closure of Gatuna, a border in early 2019. The new infrastructure to pass through northern Tanzania will fork out from Uganda in 2 fangs, Kitagate in Isingiro to Karagwe.
Chikagati.
Yes. Kitagati. Okay. And
Chikagati. That's where he passed when I was walking towards, when we were hitting Idi Amin, Chikagati, the Battle of Chikagati. It was very strong. Yes, Chikagati.
Yes, and another one, Myotera, Mutukula.
Totera.
Okay, to Karagwe, then merge into one thoroughfare to roll over Ngara in northwestern Tanzania and link to Burundi's Kobero border crossing point. Now, these 2 routes are 360 kilometers and 274 kilometers respectively, according to Google Map computations, and will take anywhere between 4 to 6.5 hours to drive, comparable to 7.5 hours drive on the 348 kilometers from Gatuna to Bujumbura. However, they've explained the drive there. But the point is, President Yoweri Museveni is tired with this blockade of Rwanda. So now he decided to be smart.
Now, I will not speak much on this. The question I want to ask the panel, is this African integration?
Especially East African community. What will this mean to
this? Yeah. Look at the clip. There's a clip going around. I always ask President Museveni and President Kagame what went wrong to the point that you have to build 2,400 miles away. You know, if we had that Gatuna to Bujumbura, it would help internal trade in Rwanda. But, well, if it is true that at the moment, the border between Rwanda and Burundi and Rwanda and Uganda has been closed for almost 2 years. 2, Rwandese don't go to Uganda. If your passport is stamped to Uganda, you have to explain why you went there. 3, Rwandese fly to Kenya, then fly to Uganda, if they want to. Then come back to Kenya, then fly to Rwanda. So, let me tell you, we talk about African integration. Where is it? Who is bringing these divisions? The answer is France. That's it. You look at the geopolitics. Look at what is happening. Maybe what is going to stop the annexation of Congo is that Goma water so that Rwanda does not enter Congo. That river can come and burn all the soldiers there, you know. But things, Miriam, as I told you, there is a very terrible proxy war smelling. It has been smelling. Kagame did not come for the inauguration of President Museveni. He sent the lowest degree of delegation. Kagame has not, where President Museveni goes, he doesn't go. Where President Museveni goes, Kagame doesn't go. Where Museveni, where Kagame goes, the president doesn't go also. So what is the problem? The problem is this, and mark me very properly. President Museveni has embarked on building roads in Democratic Republic of Congo. In fact, for us, we have more good roads now, so we should build more roads across in Congo. Sarcastically, Miriam. We have very good roads. So His Excellency has ordered billions and billions of Uganda shillings in building the roads in Congo.
What is the interest, Doc?
Yes, the interest is very clear. The interest is, if you did not win by war, you can now win by economic might. Because Congo, I told you that there are some Congolese who think Mobutu is still alive. They have never known that there is change of government. Some Congolese believe in Uganda news. They read Uganda news than Congo. So Congo is big, is twice the size of Europe. It's 4 good hours when you are flying from Entebbe up to Kinshasa. You can imagine. And this is not a smaller plane, it's a jumbo. So you are on the forest. So it's big, bigger than Europe. It's equivalent to the flight from Mediterranean Sea up to London. So we have a problem here. And that problem is the French have come in. They want to play cards with Total Oil to dig that pipeline. They also want to play, the French came in, supported Nkurunziza, wanting Nkurunziza to overthrow Kagame. All these things are still recurring. So there is need for the East African Community chairperson to maybe call a meeting so that it is resolved. Otherwise, Miriam, there is no African unity here, no integration.
All right, thank you. Is there anybody who wants to add on how this might affect the East African community, unity that has forever remained elusive, and now throw in this in the works? What will that mean for the unity of this region? Anybody can.
Fair enough. If they don't have anything.
Miriam, I think just to add on to what Dr. Arya said, it is important for us to continually spearhead or have this crusade for the unity of this region, beginning with the East Africa region, because like you cited earlier, it's like the East Africa region in the entire continent of Africa is the most disintegrated. And many a times you find that countries are at loggerheads with each other, and neighbors are fighting with each other. And when you get to understand exactly what is the reason behind the fight, you don't find something substantive. So like Dr. Masanga has pointed out, could be it's because of the external forces, the French, that does not want to see. Because again, when you're disintegrated, when you're disunited, you cannot stand, and the enemy can, have a field day on you. So I think basically we need to speak more on the unity and integration of the East Africa region. And that in itself also means that once the region is united, then the entire continent of Africa will be united and will be speaking in one voice. Miriam, I submit.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Nyanchama, you want to chime in? Yes, go ahead.
First of all, Thank you, Miriam, for that, and my fellow panelists. I think Dr. Masanga has given a clear insight on this matter. But the problem, generally with African leaders, they confuse their personal egos with the interest of a nation. Usually I say that if actually you think you are the entire picture for your nation, you will never see the bigger picture. If you are elected as a great leader of your nation, and then you succumb to external influences, then you have no business of being in office. Remember, and I want to appeal to African leaders, borrowing from the proverb of the Indian proverb, that we have not inherited these nations within the region from our forefathers. We are borrowed from our children, and we have an obligation to return the nation back with interest. I mean, a nation which has progressed to a level where it will sustain a decent livelihood of the generation. But if you continue rotating on petty issues, which revolves around ego and who's the biggest in the region, you will never see the bigger picture. All these leaders are in the frame. There is one great philosopher who said, you will never see the picture if you are in the frame. These people, some of them are in the frame. They never see beyond them as president, some of them. Because of ego, they are blanketed by that. And now they derail the progress of our generation. What I'm appealing to our leaders, particularly in Africa, please delink your personal ego from the interest of African nations, and let's move forward as a continent. I think that's what troubles people. Don't confuse your personal ego with the progress of a nation. Where your ego conflicts the interests of a nation, the interests of a nation shall prevail. And let these leaders know that, and they give us a break as African citizens. Miriam, I submit.
All right. Anybody else before we close the show, because our time is really far gone? All right. Okay. Do we conclude here today?
I think, thank you very much. We shall do Zimbabwe this week. There was Zimbabwe, the same crisis like what is in Kenya. The courts have a problem. But let's recap. Let's recap on the events that we have talked to today. Point number one, Kenya. The only way out is let the government take a stand. Bad judges cannot be allowed to continue even threatening us not to talk. Yet they have made a bad judgment that we have seen. Yes, we have gone. Not all of us are going for appeal. Therefore, we have to be given time also to speak out on the judgment. Point number two, the politics of Kenya got spoiled with the Deputy President Ruto turning on his boss, belittling his boss, planting candidates in various places. He killed the morale, the strength, the courage, the determination of Jubilee Party. Point number three, on the question of Nigeria. Nigeria has fallen apart. It is no longer at ease. Things are not the same. Don't be Obiorika. Don't be Okwanko. Be Obiorika and tell Buhari, stand up and be Obiorika and say, perhaps you have been away for too long yourself. You better part or depart or resign and give Nigeria a breathing space to rearrange itself into a formidable country with states having their integrity, like the Biafran issue. Point number three, on the question of Somalia, we have a problem. We have talked about Somalia. Until the leadership down there changes, Somalia will never see peace. Farmajo is very stubborn, like his uncle, Siad Barre. Therefore, if you want any meaningful thing to happen in Mogadishu, change Siadibare. 2, the troops who are there, you went to pacify. But if you have been called an enemy, you can as well retreat and defend your border. Thank you. On the question of Uganda, I leave it to observers. I've said enough. I've talked enough for 36 years. I've told everybody the truth. The truth will set me free one day. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Sunday, all of you, that on Sunday like this, I want to thank God Almighty for having kept me alive to see the mess that I talked about 36 years ago, that it will come, to see it come in my own place, to see it come in places like Nigeria, like Tripoli, Libya, like Somalia, like Central African Republic, Congo. We can see the problem, and the problem is bad leadership in those countries. Thank you very much, the panel. Thank you very much, viewers. Thank you very much, all of you. We cannot read the comments. There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of them. We thank you. This station always brings topical issues that touch Africa. Continue watching it. Watch it and get something new from this panel. We are all determined people, focused people, engaging people, determined in the sense that there comes a time when a nation is bigger than individuals. I like my friend Nyachama. He always quotes Abraham Lincoln. President Uhuru Kenyatta, stand up and fight like Abraham Lincoln. He said, yes, the people are first. The Constitution is second. Therefore, I will go with the people. Whether you pay the price, but stand with what the people want. The people of Kenya cannot go into an election with a broken colored legislation. A colored legislation is the worst dangerous amnesia that the court has broken and brought to us. It has brought us a route that can trigger us into Indian Ocean. Let's keep calm. Let's fight peacefully. Let's change. Let's help everybody who is in government to do something to make sure that Kenya moves ahead peacefully. In the name of Jesus, our Lord, amen.